Guys, where were we? What were we want? I came back in. You guys are talking about
Yeah,
black
we were just talking
helicopters.
off the air. We were talking about the reports of FEMA doing a bad job, and then the black helicopters that have been disturbing relief efforts. Non federal government relief efforts in the mountains of North Carolina, and then he said that he's been visited by black helicopters, which I'm dying to hear about. Please.
Yeah. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I was working on one of those Orgone accumulators that I was telling you guys about, and I actually had the inventor at my ex-wife's house, and we took two of these. It was called a Mojo cell. It's like it's essentially it's a sphere that's filled with water, but that water has been highly structurized, and we got two of these spheres right next to each other to resonate. And it was really cool when we got them to resonate because it changes the water to a hyper fine bubble, so the water like turns into milk. And that water you can do a lot of really cool stuff with, which we could probably talk about another time. So we got that, and that was like around midnight that we did that. And we had 8 people at her house. We had her sister, her parents. I had 2 friends in from out of town. So like all of us had this incredible experience with when these organ accumulators are resonating. So I was exhausted. I go to bed. I wake up around 6 o'clock in the morning to go make some coffee. And our friends were outside and they were camping in the backyard. And I'm making coffee, and my friend comes in and she's like, Topher, there's a helicopter over the house. And I thought she was just messing with me. I thought she was just like trying to pull one over. And I'm like, whatever. And she's like, no, 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 there's a chopper over the house. And I walked outside and it was one of those black whoop whoop choppers. I was like,
What?
ooh, ooh. And it was right before sunrise because it was like, I think it was December. So in Florida, the sun doesn't rise till about like, 7 o'clock in the morning. And so it was before sunrise. And so if you didn't look up, you wouldn't have known it was there.
How
And
high are we talking?
it was about 100 feet over us.
Oh, wow.
It
Okay.
was very low. It was below the deck. Like it was right
Yeah.
there. And we could see like the little, like you could see the sensors on because the sun was rising in the east, and I could see like the sun hitting some of these sensors on it, and I freaked out. Like I was literally so paranoid from that moment on. And I think what we did is that Orgone accumulator thing that we got to resonate. I think it created a clear spot because they work on electrosmog. So a lot of all these devices that we have, they create interference patterns, and these interference patterns are 3D mapped. And whenever you create a clean spot in that smog, they can vector into it instantaneously.
Damn.
And so when they saw us, it was like, oh, this is a false positive. These guys, they can't recreate this. This is just like whatever. And they tracked us that day. Like we had this weird couple that kept walking by the house. Like, well, they had a fake baby stroller. They changed their outfit. They were like sporty
What?
spies. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They had our eyes. We ended up leaving. We actually drove to Austin over the next few days and did our workout there. But that was a thing.
Where were you for
So
that? Sorry. Did you say?
Palm Beach County, Florida.
Oh, okay. Florida, really? Okay.
Yeah,
Huh.
yeah. I did this because I was in Costa Rica. And then I went up to Florida to close on my house, and then I was buying these orgone accumulators, and the inventor just happened to be in Palm Beach County visiting. So I was like, hey, let's do this. And like we started building them and like experimenting with them. And I extended my stay because we were starting to have some real success with the orgone accumulators. And yeah, then we had that event and we decided, hey, we got friends out in Austin. Let's go ahead and drive out to Austin, and we can do our workout in like Wimberley and out in the hill country of Texas, just south of Austin, and kind of be left alone. And so we did that for about a month before I went back to Costa Rica.